What's going on, my Cartelians? Cartel from hell back again. This time I'm going to bring you guys the 4K close-ups of the Sideshow Collectibles Berserker Predator life-size bust. And if you guys haven't done so already, I have done a complete review of this statue in another video. And I have also done an unboxing of this statue in another video. So that's going to be 3 videos total for this piece. And in my review of this piece, I am sitting next to it so you guys can see the actual scale of this piece. It is a life-size bust, and because of Predators being so big, you know, this bust is just absolutely massive. And to be able to see that scale, you're really going to want to watch that review so you guys can go ahead and see how big this piece actually is. But this is just going to be my 4K close-ups of this statue so you guys can see all the tight, intricate details of this piece. This piece has a lot going on with it, and you guys really need to be able to see everything that's going on with this statue, especially if you guys are trying to pick it up. It's not a cheap piece. You can get it for a good price, but at the same time, it's still not a cheap piece. And shipping on it is pretty much ridiculous. If you're going to be shipping it within the United States, you're going to be paying around $500 shipping just because it is a really big statue. It's around 122 pounds shipped. That's with the pallet, I believe. But the actual piece itself is, I think, 60 pounds, 61 pounds. But that might not be true because I haven't put it on a scale. It does feel a lot heavier. It could be due to it being such an awkward shape while you're lifting it up. But, for the most part, it's just a really heavy statue. And with the box and the pallet included, just makes it really expensive to ship. But, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. I do have a lot of videos posted up, and I've been pumping them out like crazy. I have a lot of statues that I'm still reviewing, and plenty more that are coming in for all my unboxings and everything. And everything that I do shoot, I shoot it all in 4K. So if you guys have that option to check it out, go ahead and check it out. You're one of the lucky ones because I still don't have a 4K TV yet. I will be getting one soon, but as of now, if you guys have one, you're lucky. I'm not. I don't get to check it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's see what's up with this piece. It's a really nice bust. It is one of my favorite Predator busts. And this bust really has me wanting to get more busts. Not only Predator, but other busts as well. I really like the DC Joker bust from Sideshow. I think that's a really sick bust. And, I really like the busts. I think they're really, really nice, and they just add so much presence to your collection. It is a little crazy for displaying them, but if you don't have the space, make the space, What are you going to do? You like it, you love it, you got to make sacrifices, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and get in a little tighter for this piece. One thing that I really love is his crown. I really love how the design of his head is, how it's like inside out. I'm going to go ahead and rotate him a little bit so you guys can get a better angle. But you see how his head is like inside out? It's almost like his brains are exposed. Really cool looking. I really love the way that crown looks like that. Let's go ahead and check out his eyes. And these eyes are not acrylic eyes. They're only, archer transfers, decals, whatever you want to call them. I really wish they would have went with acrylic eyes on this, just to give it a more lifelike look. But at the same time, it doesn't take too much away from the statue, and the average person isn't really going to know that they're decals. In person, they do look really nice, and they're very glossy, so they do have a very lifelike effect, but acrylic's always better. And I'm not going to say that just because I own this piece that I'm going to sit here and you know, lie for it and say, oh, you know, these are the best eyes ever done. No, that's not the case. When you guys watch my reviews, you're definitely going to be getting a very honest review. And just because I own a piece doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and lie about it. There's a lot of gloss inside his mouth and around his mandibles. And his teeth are very sharp. They're all done with a translucent resin, the same as his fangs coming out of his mandibles. And they've colored them really nicely. They've put like a striping effect on them. Really cool looking. But I really love how they have packed in so much tartar and decay on his teeth. They look really nasty and dirty. Very beautifully done for some very ugly teeth. All that texture they've put inside of his mouth. Let's check out that cannon from the front. And the dreads are just absolutely beautiful on this statue. I really love the way the dreads look. And I do believe the reason why they have this piece on such an elevated base is to give the dreads clearance. So that when you're moving it, you know, displaying it, rotating it, you're not gonna, you know, you're gonna have a lot of clearance with this elevated base. And I think that is one reason why they've done it. Another reason is just for the added height and presence. But this base is actually really nice. It has a really nice copper effect to it. In between copper and brass, I would say. More along the lines of copper. But then, you know, it has a lot of patina effect they have painted on it. You know, see that rim right there on the bottom with that patina effect? And then they have the copper paint on this part of the base with all the different predator glyphs. And then, you know, the patina on this upper rim. And then more copper with the glyphs. And then they've packed in a lot more patina right here. So they've done a lot with the patina on this. It looks very nice, and it pretty much looks the same all the way around on the base. We're gonna go ahead and get some more shots on the back of this statue, and then I'll pan down so you guys can see the back too. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. Now this is one part of the statue that I really love. I love how all of his armor looks like it's really metal. Has a lot of texture in it. And it looks like, you know, the predators have had somebody hand-made it for them out of metal, all their armor. Look at all that texture. It looks really nice, and it works very well with the paint and the paint application to give it that metallic look. One thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now. I love the texturing in his skin and all the coloration. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a little spin so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so look right here on this part of his body. You know, they have put in a lot of texturing. He has a very wrinkled, scaly type texture. Very reptilian looking. And I really love all the spotting they've done on him. It's one aspect of this statue that I really love and I really enjoy. You know, out of all the colorations for all the Predators, this is the one that I enjoy the most just because it pops so much and it just has so much color packed in there. It's really nice to look at. Other Predators would blend into different environments a lot better, but this one is just really cool to me, and I really love the coloration of this Berserker Predator. And everybody says he's one ugly motherfucker, but he does have some really cute dimples. I pointed that out in my review too. I think it's so funny. He has those massive dimples right there. You know, the girls be jocking those dimples, you guys. So yeah, he's a Mac. Straight up macaroni. But yeah, I really do love all the color that they've packed into his crown and all the texture that they've packed into there. You know, it's not, you're not just getting a flat paint job. You're getting a piece that has a lot of texture. Look at all those wrinkles and creases and scales in his skin. And the way that they've stretched the skin over the mandibles gives a really nice effect. Man, they've just done such a good job on this piece. It's actually a really old piece. I believe it was released in either 2010 or 2011. So, you know, it's been out there for a while, and I believe that there's 1,250 of them or 1,275. Something along those lines, and it retailed for $11.99, so $1,200 plus shipping, whatever that is. That's not what I paid for it, but that's just what it retailed for. I did get it for a little better price, but you know, this is a piece I wouldn't have minded to pay a little extra for because it's definitely worth it. And one thing that the latest Predator 2 maquette that I do have, so I'm not hating on it, it's just, it is what it is. The Predator 2 maquette that has just been released does not have any quills, but this piece, my goodness, there is quills all over the place. Really nice the way that they've done the quills on this one. Check these quills out, you guys. How they have all of them gradually fading from black to red with the red tips. Really cool looking. I'm so happy to see that they didn't just put, you know, either black quills or red quills. They actually took the time to grade that paint out and fade it out. Really cool. I definitely love that part of this piece. Man, those quills are just so nicely done. And it does make this piece a little nerve-wracking to deal with while you're moving it, because mess one of these quills up, man, you're gonna hate yourself for it, you know. So if you guys land up getting this piece, be very careful with it. Extremely careful as you can be. Take your time, because this is a piece you're gonna want to keep in your collection for the rest of your life. This piece would look so nice inside of a movie room, inside of a movie setup, a theater room, something like that. You know, even just a standalone piece, or maybe like this Predator and an alien bust, a Pred Alien bust maybe next to it on like, this bust on one side of your silk screen for your theater room, and then the other bust on the other side with some architectural uplighting behind it, and then some lighting coming down on it, just illuminating the piece by itself. That would look really sweet. I'm so happy to finally have this piece in, you guys. I waited 2 weeks after purchasing it for it to be shipped, and I was just so nervous the whole time, thinking that it was gonna, arrive broken or damaged. And luckily it does come on a pallet, so you're not gonna have anybody playing football with it. And one thing I did state in my complete review, you see these red patterns on his crown? They're actually decals, and instead of them being decals, I really wish that they would have taken the time to airbrush them in like they've done on his torso, on his chest. All the ones that are done on his chest are all, airbrushed in. You can really tell the difference. I mean, they're not perfectly airbrushed in there. They are nice, but at the same time, coming up here and looking up here and seeing these ones so perfect, knowing that the ones on the bottom are airbrushed and not perfect because they are hand done, I can pretty much tell the difference. But a lot of other people aren't going to tell the difference, especially if they're not into statues or the process in which the statues are made. But for me, I would like to see some consistency, and I would really like to have it all hand painted, airbrushed, and I just really like everything to tie in. But it doesn't take too much away from the statue. It doesn't make me not want the statue. It doesn't make me want to sell it. It's just a personal preference, and it's not going to bother everybody. To tell you the truth, it really doesn't bother me. It's more of a preference thing. But I really love how his crown separates from the top of his head. Man, that's such a cool design. If you guys are on the fence about this bust, I really don't see a reason why. This is definitely one you should pick up. Try to get a good price on it, just like all other statues. There's no real reason to overpay. If you have to overpay, $50, $60, maybe $100, that's not too big of a deal. But if you're paying somebody just to make their pocket fat, I really don't believe in that, and I don't condone it. So don't overpay for any statue, you guys. It's not smart, and it's not a good investment, if you ask me. Yeah, you might buy a statue and think, oh, well, I don't really mind overpaying for it because I'm never going to get rid of it. But at the same time, you never know what's going to happen in this hobby. You could get sick. You could, there's so many different variables to where you're going to need money one day. And it really sucks to part with your statues, but at the same time, you're going to take a bigger loss if you're overpaying for them. I really love how on this part of his mandibles, the skin stretching in between the mandibles, that they've colored the outside of the mouth too. It's a really nice look. And let's go ahead and spin him completely around so you guys can get a full shot of all these dreads. Really want you guys to be able to check out all these dreads. He has so many dreads. Wow. Look at those dreads, you guys. That's crazy. I really love how they've done the same gradual fading to black to red, just like they've done on the Quills. And they're just massive, you guys. So much detail on these dreads. The dreads and the Quills just kick this piece over the top. They really put this piece in a league of its own. Let's go ahead and get some close-ups. Have his armor sticking out on his shoulder. Can't say it enough though, you guys, the way that they've done the metal armor, the metallic armor, they've done such a good job with it. These dreads are actually very heavy, and a lot of them come separate inside of the packaging for the statue, and you actually plug them in, you know, the last of everything that you're doing while you're assembling the statue. I'm going to give you guys a quick look at the back of the bottom of the base. It is just like the front of the base, but we're here, so why not show it? Very nice with all that patina. You know, for this piece being such a big, ugly predator, it has a lot of class. You know, they haven't went too overly crazy with it. You know, anybody that enjoys art is definitely going to love this statue. I'm going to go ahead and swing it another quarter turn so you guys can see the cannon, his plasma cannon. All right, let's check this out. Look how massive that cannon is, you guys. I'm actually going to keep spinning it a little bit more to give you guys a better angle. Boom. Really love the way they've done his cannon. You know, they've given that same real metallic looking finish. They've put a lot of detail in there, and this cannon is actually very heavy, and it does come off of the bust. It comes wrapped in its own packaging inside the packaging for this bust, so you do have to plug it in there. This bust is just absolutely amazing, you guys. You know, that I could sit here and talk about it for hours. You know, I'm very passionate about this piece, and I'm definitely very happy to have it. Very humbled to have it in my collection. As you can see, he has the same quills on this side of his face as he does on the other side of his face. See, right here you guys can see the decals a little better, and how you can tell something is a decal other than hand painted is around the perimeter of the decal you can see a very slight line, and actually a lot of decals will come up a little shinier than a paint job, unless the paint has a lot of gloss added to it. But you see how the decals are a little shiny and then the paint is a little flat. That's how you can pretty much tell. But at the same time, it doesn't take away too much from the statue, as I've stated before. I just want to point it out to you guys, just so you guys know what you're getting in hand. Go ahead and spin it around another quarter turn. So yeah, you guys, that's going to be it for the 4K close-ups of this statue. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You know, these videos are a little long, but at the same time, I want you guys to be able to see all the details of these statues. I don't want it to be rushed. I don't want it... I want you guys to be able to get everything in its entirety. You know, I don't want you guys feeling like you need more. So if you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Until the next one, catch me if you can. Cartel out. Thanks for watching.